All right, let's just dive right into this explainer and break down the absolute mind-bending, emotionally dense climax of Christopher Nolan's epic film Interstellar. Honestly, if you found yourself a little lost during the final act of this incredible tale of time, space, and love, you are certainly not alone. It is a lot to take in. But today, we're going to map out exactly how humanity managed to survive it all. But before we get totally lost in the weeds of complex physics and crazy space-time anomalies, we need to stop at the ultimate question that ties this entire sci-fi epic together. Who or what was the ghost in Murph's childhood bedroom? You know, the entity leaving those mysterious dust patterns on the floor? Keep this question in the back of your mind as we go, because the answer is absolutely the key to unlocking the entire ending. To get there, here's our roadmap. We'll cover Dr. Mann's desperate betrayal, the slingshot and ultimate sacrifice, going inside the 5D Tesseract, transmitting data through love, and finally, humanity saved and reunited. Basically, we're taking a chronological journey from familiar 3D problems straight into some wild, abstract 5D concepts to make sure we grasp exactly how this ending functions. Starting off with Section 1, Dr. Mann's desperate betrayal, the 3D problem. Before we get into all that five-dimensional reality stuff, we have to start with a very human, terrifyingly grounded problem, which is sheer desperation. So Mann gives the crew this beautiful, poetic reassurance, right? Our world is cold, stark, but undeniably beautiful. Well, actually, scratch that. It's a complete and devastating lie. Let's back up just a second. Earth is literally dying from massive dust storms and crop failures. A team travels through a wormhole to check on 12 scientists who went ahead to find a habitable planet. But when they get to Dr. Mann's icy world, he feeds them this line. The reality, his planet is totally uninhabitable. Driven by this primal, terrifying fear of dying alone, Mann just straight up falsified his team into coming for him. His desperation runs so deep that he's willing to murder Cooper and steal the Endurance spacecraft just to escape. Which brings us to Section 2, Slingshot and Ultimate Sacrifice, the cost of physics. With Mann out of the picture, things go from bad to worse. The crew's fuel is severely depleted, and the stakes escalate from human deception to the totally unforgiving laws of astrophysics. 51. That is a massive, absolutely terrifying number facing our crew. With virtually no fuel left, Cooper proposes a desperate slingshot maneuver around the black hole Gargantua just to gain enough inertia to reach Dr. Edmund's planet. But this comes with a huge, heartbreaking personal cost. Because of relativity, every single hour they spend near the black hole's immense gravitational field equals years back on Earth. Executing this maneuver is going to cause a devastating time slippage of 51 Earth years. 51 years. Just gone. Cooper knows this means he'll likely never see his children again because they'll probably die of old age before he even escapes Gargantua's pull. But losing half a century isn't even the whole shebang. To actually pull free of Gargantua's gravity, the Endurance has to shed a massive amount of weight. So Cooper institutes this brutal weight-shedding plan. First, he detaches the shuttle holding the robot TARS, dropping it right into the black hole, hoping TARS can collect crucial quantum data from inside the singularity. But then, Cooper makes the ultimate sacrifice. Without telling Brand his true intentions, he detaches his own shuttle. He bites the bullet. By dropping himself into the black hole, he ensures Brand has the momentum to reach Edmund's planet and restart the human race. He's prioritizing the future of humanity over his own survival. Moving right along to Section 3, inside the 5D Tesseract, crossing the event horizon. Now, this is where things get really interesting. Cooper falls into the black hole, but instead of being crushed by gravity, we move from known physics into pure, abstract reality. Cooper's shuttle is completely ripped apart. He enters the Tesseract. Think of it like a giant, infinite, interdimensional library constructed as a 3D space inside a 5D reality. It acts as a window, allowing Cooper to look back into different moments in time, specifically focusing on one exact place, his daughter Murph's childhood bedroom. TARS, who also survived, helps Cooper realize that time and gravity are actual physical dimensions here. This bizarre space wasn't an accident. It was built purely for understanding, tethering complex, multi-dimensional physics to Cooper's emotional anchor, his daughter. But who actually built this massive library? TARS determines they were protected by them, the mysterious beings who constructed the wormhole near Saturn in the first place. And this brilliantly illustrates the film's huge twist. They aren't aliens at all. No way. They are us. They're future humans who have evolved to navigate all 5 dimensions. These highly advanced future humans used gravity to create the wormhole and built this library to ensure their own timeline by assisting Cooper and humanity in the past. That takes us to Section 4, transmitting data through love, the key to survival. So Cooper realizes the future humans didn't just bring him there to watch. They brought him to act as an interdimensional messenger. The crucial point here is figuring out exactly how Cooper can send the quantum data that TARS collected back to Earth. Here's how the mechanics work. TARS has the data from inside Gargantua. Cooper, inside the Tesseract, can physically influence different points in space-time by pushing on gravity. But he needs a receiver for this data, right? So he chooses to code it into the second hand of the wristwatch he gave Murph before he left. Finally, love is the guiding force that makes sure this incredibly complex plan actually connects. Naturally, TARS is the logical one here. He points out that it's a massive leap of faith to assume an adult Murph will ever return to retrieve a broken childhood watch. But Cooper completely anchors the abstract physics in emotional truth. He simply says, because I gave it to her. He absolutely trusts their connection. As Brand explained earlier in the film, love is the only thing that transcends all dimensions, including time and space. Cooper is confident that his love for Murph will guide her exact where she needs to go. And you know what? That confidence pays off, bringing us right back to that ultimate question we asked at the very beginning of this explainer. The adult Murph, drawn by an unseen force, returns to her childhood bedroom and suddenly realizes the truth. The ghost communicating with her through those dust patterns when she was a little girl, it wasn't supernatural. It lost time and dimensions, desperately trying to save her. Talk about an aha moment. Finally, we reach Section 5, Humanity Saved and Reunited, the Final Frontier. Let's watch how this builds to the ultimate climax of human survival. Back on Earth, Murph was working at a secret NASA facility on this massive gravitational equation to allow humanity to evacuate a dying Earth en masse. But without quantum mechanics data from inside a black hole, the equation was completely useless and Earth was doomed. However, once Murph realizes her father gave her that exact missing data through the twitching second hand of the watch, everything clicks. She solves the equation, humanity is saved. Once Cooper passes along the data, his mission is done. The Tesseract collapses and he loses consciousness. He is safely ejected by those future forces and rescued. But we really need to look at the timeline of this rescue, because relativity demands its due. For Cooper, only a few hours have passed since he entered the black hole. But for Earth, over 51 years have gone by. He awakens completely unaged on a gigantic colony floating through space, appropriately named Cooper Station. Thanks to the data he transmitted, humans successfully evacuated Earth. On Cooper Station, he finally gets the reunion he sacrificed everything for. But it is intensely bittersweet. Because of the massive time slippage, his daughter Murph is now an incredibly old woman on the verge of death, while Cooper looks the exact same as the day he left. In a truly heartbreaking moment, she urges him to leave, delivering this powerful line: "No parent should have to watch their own child die." Heeding her wise words, Cooper realizes his journey isn't over yet. He steals a ship, intending to head back through the wormhole. Why? Because Brand is still out there. Following Cooper's sacrifice, Brand successfully reached Edmund's planet. Edmunds himself died during the decades of waiting, but the planet is indeed the perfect place for humanity to truly rebuild. Brand and Cooper is on his way to join her. So, as we wrap up this explainer, we are left with a massive, awe-inspiring question to chew on. We saw rockets, black holes, and five-dimensional tesseracts, but in the end, was it really the math and the advanced technology that saved us? Or was it the undeniable, quantifiable force of love pulling us toward exactly where we needed to be? I'll let you be the judge. Thanks for joining me on this journey from 3D to 5D. Keep looking up and stay curious.